Hello everyone, this is Crystal with Slick Trade, and in this presentation I am going to go over our prediction and analysis for the upcoming week. It is now January 3rd, 2016, and I hope all of you had a great long weekend. I hope you brought in the new year and had a wonderful time with family, friends, however you celebrated it. I think we are going to have probably the best year that we've had since Slick Trade was created. I'm looking forward to everything that's already released, everything that's still coming out. It's been really exciting. We've had some great results over the past month, and I'm looking forward to continuing and providing more value to all of you. Okay, so we have an interesting week, okay? The chart's set up a little differently than normal, and excuse me, if you were paying attention to the Pop and Picasso at all throughout the week, we had I believe it was Tuesday or Wednesday, when all of the prediction analysis trades hit all of their take profit levels, and it was a very clear, easy setup. One we already had, this is the GBP USD, and we had already had price up at the 200 moving average. It was showing a downtrend. We had price under that Hall moving average. We had the semaphore sun painted. The oscillator had flipped to the downside. RSI was back under the 70 line. Everything was very, very clear last week. So there was no sweat with any of the prediction analysis trades. There was, I don't even think price really retraced back much as far as any stop losses that would have been hit. So very easy money last week. This week, if we take a look here at the GU, price for 2 days there fluctuated in between some support resistance levels. Okay, really didn't move much. Then on Thursday, the 31st, price took a heavy drop. Okay, we ended the week with a green semaphore sun. Okay, also with price barely re-entering the 30 line. Okay, price is currently under that Hall moving average. Okay, and this can make for a little bit of a messy setup. Okay, our candles are showing that price is fluctuating within here. It's showing that there's probably going to be a breakout, obviously, to one side or the other. From looking at all four charts, GU, EU, UC, and AU, and also taking a look at the professor setup, I do think that price is going to retrace back from its initial drop. Okay, here are the 3 take profit levels, and they are in the post for you. But I do believe GU is going to go into a long or buy position. Our first take profit is where price broke through the previous support. Another thing to look at here is the GU on the professor setup, okay, is overall showing a downtrend, okay. If we zoom in a little bit, if you've been paying close attention at all to the professor setup, price a lot of the time will retrace back up to or down to the Hall moving average. Okay, so that's one other thing that's in our favor. That's not really what I'm looking at, but that is just one other thing to think about. Okay, I think we'll open up the week with that long position and then have a like a midweek reversal back to the downside, because the overall trend is down. okay? Another thing to look at is if we go back to, where are we at? July, June, May, April, right here. This is March and April of 2015. Here is where price is currently at, okay? This was the last time that price was down this low, okay? So this is a very heavy support line. My thought is that if it breaks this previous low down here in April, between April 9th and the 14th there, looks like it's about like the 12th or 13th, if it breaks to the downside beyond that, we're going to continue in a sell position. However, I feel like it's going to start heading up into a long, okay? If we take a look at the Euro USD, I think we're also going to go into a long or buy position. The oscillator, again, this is kind of the same setup as GU right now. I'll zoom back out a bit. The oscillator is not flipped to the upside yet. If you are new to the group, please watch some of the old prediction and analysis videos or the Pop and Picasso strategy setup, and that will help you as well. And when I say the oscillator flip, I like to watch this oscillator a lot. And what you'll notice is that the beginning of a week or the end of a week, okay, it can be either one, and also midweek, okay, price seems to pick a direction. Normally at the beginning of the week it follows how the previous week ended. So if we ended with a semaphore sun, which is stronger than a semaphore dot, that's what this is right here, this is semaphore sun, much of the time it will head in that direction, okay? Price will head in that direction. What I like to wait for a lot of the time is the oscillator to also show the same sign, okay, which is an oscillator flip. Okay, I like to see price above the Hall Moving Average for a buy and below for a sell. Right here are two beautiful setups, okay, and although you missed out on some pips by not entering here for a buy position, that's okay, because you waited for a safer entry. Price crossed above the Hall Moving Average, okay, there was a semaphore painted. Right here, this is a midweek reversal. Okay, oscillator flipped up. RSI had previously re-entered the 30 line. Okay, right around the time that semaphore sun painted and stayed. So, beautiful buy or long entry. Okay. Same with here. Last week ended with a semaphore sun to the sell side. Okay, then price went below the Hall Moving Average. We had the oscillator flip down, okay, and the RSI was below that 70 line. It didn't necessarily exit and re-enter, but it still hit that 70 line and started to head back in. So that's a perfect, or a very, what I consider a perfect entry for the Pop and Picasso. I like to see a lot of those things occur. But my favorite entry is really seeing that oscillator flip, okay, and seeing price below or above a Hall Moving Average. Now, excuse me, if we take a look at the Euro USD, it's pretty much doing the same kind of thing that the GU is doing, okay? The only main difference is that the moving average right here, this white line, this is a 200 moving average, and price has been fluctuating in between. Okay? So it's not really showing any specific trend direction. Okay? But if we take a look at this, there isn't much movement on there. the RSI exited and it re-entered the 30 line at the end of the week. The oscillator has not flipped up yet. It's pretty exhausted to the downside, okay, but has not flipped up yet. So that is something to think about. If you want to wait for the safest entry, wait until price goes above that whole moving average, or just wait until it retraces up and then maybe enter once it gets closer to that 200 moving average, okay, then place the short or sell position. Okay, it's up to you. Everyone trades differently, okay, and everyone has a different tolerance for a stop loss. So please keep those things in mind. With the EU, I do believe it's going to head into a buy or long position, okay, same as GU. The reason I think so, some of the same things. Price was fluctuating there, broke through on Friday, headed to the downside, okay. We had a pretty hefty drop, okay. Now we have been at this low before, okay. With the GU, we haven't reached this low since April. Okay, so it's been a while. The EU, just 2 weeks ago, we were below this previous low. Okay, so be aware of that as well. If you want to wait for safest entry, wait until price goes above that whole moving average, or that oscillator flips up. Okay? If your account can handle a stop loss that's lower, and that's absolutely fine, okay? But just keep those things in mind. My thought, though, is it's going to go into a long. The take profit 1, I set to where price was at before its final drop there, okay? And also a pretty decent support resistance line. Take profit 2, I have here, and take profit 3 here. I kept them below the 200 moving average simply because sometimes price it'll hit and then head back in the direction it was already at, okay? This moving average is not showing an overall trend direction at the moment, okay? It's just kind of, it's crossing, coming down, crossing, back up, back down, okay? It's in kind of that like consolidation period is what I like to call it. But if you remember, a lot of the time, GU and EU follow each other, okay, to some degree. They may not be mirrored images of each other, but they seem to follow. So, if we look at the GU, it's in an overall sell position, so keep that in mind. That's why I put the third take profit just under the 200 moving average here. Okay? So, again, my thought is that price is going to head to the upside, but just keep in mind, we did just have this previous low here 2 weeks ago. It could continue down. If you want safest entry, wait for that oscillator to flip up. You obviously won't gain as many pips, but if it goes against us, you're not going to have a hefty stop loss, okay? Or worry about price going against the trade, okay? That's just my thought on it, okay? If we actually, for the EU, let's take a look at, I have not looked at the professor setup with it yet. Okay, it's overall showing sell, okay, but price is a ways away from that whole moving average. So, if you're familiar with the professor setup, much of the time, when a signal is issued, okay, price will retrace. Just like it did here. Here was a buy, price retraced back to the whole moving average, and then headed up. Okay, here was a sell, retraced up, then headed down. Okay, so there was a sell right about here. Okay, price, if it follows true to the strategy, okay, in the way that the professor normally works, price will more than likely head up and then back down. Okay, so that's good as well. Okay, we have a couple charts that are showing in our favor with the trades that I'm giving you for my prediction and analysis. If we take a look at the USD CHF, same thing occurred here. We it had a little more movement than EU and GU last week, but we ended the week in a pretty hefty uptrend there. Okay, it really, really rose. The oscillator is pretty exhausted to the upside. Okay, we ended the week with a semaphore sun. We are still outside of the 70 line for the RSI. It exited, it kind of re-entered, or just touched, but we did not end up in the 70 line. Okay, I do think that the USD CHF is going to go into a short or sell. Take profit levels are at previous support levels here, as you can see. If you remember, the Euro USD and the GBP USD, they are inverse pairs to the USD CHF. So, if they head into a buy, USD CHF should head into a sell. Okay? Let's take a look at the professor setup. Okay, so it's showing a buy. Price did already retrace down, headed back up. We have hit right here, yep, a previous resistance level. Okay, so that's in our favor as well. We are a ways away from the whole moving average, so it has a lot of room to head down, okay, to retrace back down. So again, both charts are showing that we should be opening the week with a sell or short position. AUD USD, okay, this one ended, excuse me, in a buy semaphore dot and a sell semaphore sun. Okay, so when the week opens, my thought is that price is going to retrace back up to right around that whole moving average. You see this resistance level right here where price hit a couple times. Okay, it could also retrace up to the previous high here where the semaphore sun is. But my thought is that price is going to head to the downside. We have price below the whole moving average. We, excuse me, have an oscillator flip to the downside. And RSI is back within the 70 line here. It did touch again. It exited here, re-entered, touched, came back down. Okay, I think that we're going to start out the week with, like I said, I think price is going to head up a bit and then head to the downside. If we take a look at the professor, let's see what we have going on here. Oh, I have the wrong, hold on. Don't need that on there. Okay. We are showing a buy here. I think price will probably head back up, like I said, to that previous resistance level and then head back to the downside. So, AU sometimes kind of has a mind of its own, but looking at both of those charts, like I said, open the week with a little bit of a buy, but then I think it's going to come down and hit these 2 take profit levels and possibly this third one, okay? The third one, though, is right below that 200 moving average. So, honestly, I think if it hits both take profit levels, excuse me, that I might just exit the trade right there, unless if everything's lined up to just continue into a sell. But that's my thoughts, and have some new things released on the website for you guys. We actually have our first update to the OTM signals, and those will be out this week. So hopefully a little bit increased win rate. I know there's only 3 that have been called so far, but we're working really hard to continue to provide the absolute best for all of you. And thank you for the feedback on the Nadex Solutions, DaVinci Donchian signals. Everyone seems to be loving those updates. I know that some of you told me you still trade them the old way, with an ATM and taking profit, or a low-risk spread and taking profit, but everyone that is doing the in-the-money trades based on those signals using the support and resistance method, thank you for the feedback. I'm glad you guys are happy. I know many of you were asking for us to release the actual support or resistance level, and I'm glad that we did. Okay, I want you guys happy. Like I said, I know I've said it in the past. We can't make everyone happy, but I'm trying my absolute best to constantly provide more value and make as many of you as I can happy. So we have some other things coming out. There's a new strategy that's released to all of you, which is the Iron Wonder. It is a long-term Forex setup, and the Auto Trader will be coming out. It may come out early in January, but the actual release date is set for February, when I send out all of the updated expert advisors. That will be the final Sunday of January that those will be released. So, I hope you guys have a great week in the room. Welcome to the, I saw a couple new members joined us, so welcome. If you have questions, if you need help, let us know. We're always here to help you. We don't know what you need help with if you don't ask. So please, be active in the member chat. Members that have been with us for a long time, they're always willing to help. Even new members have been helping other members, which is just amazing. I love seeing that in the room. I really appreciate it. I want to put a shout out to Linda. Thank you for helping everyone the way that you do. If you haven't noticed, Linda has been very active in the member chat, and it really helps me because I can't always watch it. I'm trying to constantly provide more to all of you, trying to do team viewers to help get you set up, and it only leaves a little bit of time for me trading. So I still like to trade. That's what that's my profession, and I got to leave some time for it. So thank you, though, to everyone that's been active in that member chat and who has filled out the survey. If you have not filled out the survey, please do. We have it right on under members, under the getting started post. It's the very last thing down there. Please fill out that survey. We really, really would appreciate it. I want to get as much feedback as we can, and like I said, continue to provide everything that we possibly can to all of you. So, I'm done ranting on, and you guys have a great week, okay? I will see you in the room, and it's going to be a great start to the year, okay? We're going to have a great 2016 ahead of us. Talk to you later.